Well, it's Crypto Sheikhs Podcast. I'm your host, Anas Bird, and I'm here with my main man, Big D. How's it going?
All good, all good. We're here with Timur today from LWK Group. How you doing, Timur?
I'm all right. I'm very cool, very excited. Thank you for inviting me, guys.
This is the Crypto Sheikhs. This is the leading podcast in Dubai and the UAE, where you, regardless of your skill level, will learn everything from cryptocurrencies to blockchain technologies.
I'm really happy to have Timur here. Timur helps organize crypto events here in the wider Middle East, mostly Dubai.
It started mostly in Dubai, but like we do have inquiries outside of UAE, like Puerto Rico and Latin America. But for now, it is Dubai mainly.
Awesome. I mean, it's great to have you on the podcast because obviously in your role, you encounter a lot of new crypto companies, a lot of startups, a lot of interesting founders who are building new things out here. So really interested to hear about, what you've seen since you've started this company. But before we go into that, maybe a little bit about you and how you came to be in this space.
Well, I'll say how I started, how I decided to come to Dubai. Back in 2004, came to work as a lifeguard at Wild Wadi Water Park. Worked for Jumeirah for a couple of years as hospitality within different hotels, Emirates House, Al Qasr, Burj Al Arab for 2 years. Then in 2006, started a company because there was a big boom when everyone from Russian-speaking countries were moving to Dubai. All of them needed an assistant. So we started our first company, which still exists as concierge service. And and then obviously this leads to other services, like you organize events, then you organize them, you help them with the properties and real estate. But then event was a big part of our company. And then back in 2017, it was a big boom of all the ICOs, cryptos. Everyone was moving to Dubai. I was like, am I missing something? It's like you go to Instagram, you go everywhere. It's like Futurama, somebody is doing something and tickets are super crazy expensive. It's like not even a concert of Justin Bieber, but it's just a Futurama. It's something to do with crypto. At that time, everyone around me, all they knew about crypto was Bitcoin. And I heard, like, they say, I heard about Bitcoin, but it's just too expensive to buy, and that's it.
And too expensive to buy was like 10,000 or something, right?
It was that time, too expensive to buy. It's like virtual. It's like you don't buy monopoly money.
That's what I heard when Bitcoin was at 300. Someone told me it's too expensive to buy.
You still get people like, it's too late, or it's too early. It's like they never buy. But anyway, so back in 2017, when I saw the big boom, just wanted to test. So just made a post on social media saying that we organize crypto investors dinner. None of our investors at that time were actually into crypto, but all of them were asking. So we decided, okay, what if we bring traditional business investors and we bring crypto, ICOs, startups, just to understand what these investors do they really understand when there is a project pitching about an idea which sounds super good, will they invest? So along with those investors, we as well invested in 17 different ICOs.
Wow. That's amazing.
I mean, none of them started, None of them tilted.
I love that. You invested in 7. So, I mean, what I love about this story is that you must have a lot that you can share with us in terms of, why they didn't work out, what investments you made that actually perhaps you look back, you're like, why did I make that investment? I should have done a little bit more due diligence. Because I think the audience right now in crypto who are coming to us, they obviously want to know, they want to look for the next 10x coin, the next 20, 30, 100x. Everyone is talking about, me and Danish get these questions all the time. What coin should we buy next, right? And the thing is, it's really good that you're here with us because you've done this back in 2017 and you've seen, the so-called next 100x coin go to zero.
And like
I just want to clarify to some of the audience that an ICO stands for initial coin offering. It's a little bit like an IPO when you take a company to the stock exchange and you
go public.
You go public, exactly. This is the same thing for tokens. But what happens is when you buy a token, you're not actually buying into the company, you're buying their tokens.
Correct.
You're just buying it's not even their shares. it is their security for you that you invested within them. So in order for you not to just sit there as traditional investor, you invest and you think whether the company is going or not. It's not even IPO, so it's not shared. So they give you something in the return, digital asset,
correct,
for you to hold, which is promising to grow once either project starts or they just get, noticed by another fund. And so there are different triggers. But the good question is, I usually talk about not what we achieved or what we did, the success. And success stories are great, and I do admire and motivate myself, but I talk about failures. So whoever asks me how to make $1 million, I can tell them how not to lose $1 million, or how to lose $1 million.
I like that,
especially in Dubai. I know how to lose $1 million. So don't follow my steps; you're not gonna lose it anyway. So failures, yeah. So we did invest in 17 different ICOs, and the problem was, the problem was that we not only invested with our money, we invited our investors together to invest in those projects.
Oh, wow.
And obviously, so we took responsibility.
Oh, wow.
It was a hard way to learn about crypto. So because then when 99 of them never started. So we understand that you should have done due diligence. Yeah. So when the person pitching your project, he can be a great salesperson. He might have a great background.
Oh, charisma.
Because this is what people buy from people. Correct. So you don't really listen about the project. You buy from a person.
Yeah.
And most of the investors fell for it. And then they don't really do due diligence because they said, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah, they thought they won a thousand.
Yeah, exactly. This is another Uber. Every time they pitch, it's another Uber, it's another Facebook, it's another Airbnb, it's another Instagram. So, but there are ways to, not 100%, but at least the way to check. So, because we learned it hard way, we realized that we need to do due diligence, or at least to understand why those projects didn't work. So we hired developers, we hired a due diligence team to understand, to follow what is the background of that person. Who is developing the project? Do they have any experience, or it was just like, oh, okay, everyone is starting their coin, I want to start my coin. I had over a period of time, obviously I had people pitching to us, coming over to me. Is like a month ago, he was asking me, how can I buy Bitcoin because it's $60,000 or $40,000. He didn't know that you can buy a small portion of it. He didn't know that. Yeah. And then suddenly after a month, he comes to me and said, wait, I have a really good project. Amazing ICO. I was like, what? ICO? You? Yeah. I have an island and I want to build a tower, and everyone in this tower, it will be called blockchain tower. And everyone, I was like, how many users? 2,000. It is closed community for 2,000 people. I said, so this coin will be among 2,000 people only. So how are you gonna grow? Why I'm as an investor gonna invest in this? So anyway, so we have identify for us several steps. So you look at the CTO, the person, a tech person behind. Yes. We even check if he has his profile on GitHub. So we check the developers.
This is really important information. So GitHub, just so for the audience to know, please. GitHub is used by coders to effectively track a lot of code. It's also a way to, because it's like an open source kind of platform. True. You can see what developers are building generally. Exactly. And so this is a brilliant piece of alpha in the sense that if you're doing a piece of research on a project.
We always ask if the developer is saying, I have XYZ experience, I did this, I worked for IBM, I worked for Microsoft. Do you have a profile at GitHub?
On GitHub.
It's a bit like a LinkedIn, but for
so for developers. So if they don't, so we still have questions. Yeah, it is a red flag. Then we look at the solution, what this project actually brings to the market. Because yes, sometimes there are community tokens, like community coins, which are promising to grow based on the community behind. Yeah, like Dogecoin.
Dogecoin has no utility and it's massively inflationary, but something has changed about it now because of obviously Elon Musk.
Everyone understands that. So it's not going to grow just
Yes.
like this. So, but there are some other tokens which come up on the market based on community or influencers, marketing. Like we had here in Dubai, Safe Pluto. I don't know if you heard about
Safe Pluto.
Safe
Yeah,
Pluto.
Like
it's
it's-
one of those scam coins.
Exactly.
So it's like
It was-
a fork of Safe Moon,
Exactly.
basically.
So it was done and promoted by a lot of influencers. They raised a lot of money. People made money, but a lot of people lost their money. So we don't fall. I mean, currently so I'll put it this way in order to structure it. So our events help us to get a lot of attention from investors. We get a lot of attention from startups, so they come to us. So we help them because we connect them with investors. We get the first
First access.
because they come to us, they say, okay, we want to pitch at one of your events. So then we listen to them. So we do due diligence ourselves before we let them perform in front of the investors. So it's not like because I know someone because it is a friend of a friend. No, they go through due diligence, right? So we also have an investment fund behind all our companies, which does investment in those projects. So that's where we have our due diligence team. So as I said, we check the developers, whether they have their profile, their experience. We check what solution it brings to the market. So sometimes, yes, we fall into, because when it comes to investment, you do make risk.
So let's talk a little bit about this, because
Please.
a lot of crypto projects claim to have a solution. And sometimes they do a lot of this marketing around that solution, but the solution is really not there. So what kind of solutions really interest you?
Okay.
Like for me, personally, I'm drawn towards DeFi. I'm drawn towards banking, sort of changing the way banking works, but also NFTs, changing art, changing culture.
Yeah.
What do you find very interesting when it comes to crypto solutions?
First of all, as I said, because we failed so many times by investing into a wrong idea, I was always searching or waiting for a project who comes and says, listen, so currently we are investing in one project. It's called safety.ai. So what they basically came up with, it is a platform where you get any token address, you post it there, you click verify. And so what you get a small report of a lot of data collected from different exchanges. So they are collaborating with Binance and other trading platform. So they collect data based on verified wallet, not verified wallet, how many transactions done from the same account. So you get that data, which gives you, it doesn't give you 100%, obviously. So it's really difficult to track each transaction, but it gives you, so they collect, currently what they're working on, that's past 3 years already, they're only collecting data. So they have a big data source where they will implement AI. So initially what you get, it's an application where you have an eye giving you low risk, high risk, medium risk. So you make your decision because there are 80% there in the world who involved in crypto don't really understand how does it work, what is utility token, what's the difference between utility, security token, ICOs, etc., but they invest.
Yeah.
It's like a rating system for tokens.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like verification for tokens.
Very
I don't
cool.
say blue
All right.
tick. I used to, when they came to us, I said, great idea. Is it a blue tick for a token? When every token wants to be verified, you will be that source. They said, eventually, yes, if we get accepted by all the trading platforms before they list you.
So it's like a credit rating agency.
Exactly.
Kind of like
Based on
Moody's,
ML,
Moody's for crypto.
Exactly.
This is the idea.
I mean, because the idea, exactly. This is the idea, but I saw the code. We saw the development currently gives you 80% of information. So they're still working on it. So
But it's a cool idea, definitely.
Yeah.
What's the name of the platform?
Safety.ai.
Safety.ai. Yeah. So something for maybe the audience to look into if they're
because
interested.
this is
Very
something,
cool project.
Exactly. So in order to raise money, so they started the utility token. They started their IDO. The utility tokens. They pitched to us. We decided that yes, even if, so this is another decision even if the token itself will not give us 100x, but the project will start eventually. I know that this will be useful for a lot of investors, people who just wants to, because currently how do we invest? Based on recommendations. Yes, we do our own due diligence to see who is the owner of the project, who is behind, and then that's how we decide. You said yourself you invest in different DeFi projects, which is great, right? DeFi stands for decentralized finance, which is another great way to make money within the crypto space. So it's not always buy Bitcoin, keep Bitcoin, and you become rich. So it's not about that anymore. However, we still get people like that who thinks that, okay, I just bought Bitcoin, I bought Ethereum, when I'm gonna get rich.
So you guys are basically almost like a VC firm. Is that how you would describe?
I would put it that we as VC, so we forming now a proper fund within DIFC in order to invest and in not only in blockchain space but in tech startups.
Generally. Very
Generally.
cool.
But currently we act as VC, so we invest in different token offerings in different project within blockchain space. We do our own due diligence, as I was sharing initially, because of the current event, which is coming up on 22nd November. We currently have around 50 applications from all over the world. It's not only UAE. So a lot of people are pitching their projects to us in order to participate, because it's a great opportunity to test for us as well.
It's wonderful.
It's not like because it's different when you meet one-to-one with the project.
Definitely, yeah.
And then when you see the audience. So can I share a little bit about it?
Of course, you absolutely should. This is perfect.
Basically, what we did for this particular event, CryptoGon.
So just for the audience, this CryptoGon is happening on the 22nd of November. So very soon, next week. And it's going to be a crypto startup competition.
Exactly.
Where you are going to select a number of
six startups from Applied.
Who have applied, like 50 of them have applied. 6 of them will make it make the cut.
Yes.
And they will go head to head live on Train Beach, which is a beautiful beach club, by the way. I've spent a lot of time there. It's great fun. They've got like water sports, great food. So really, I love the venue. Yeah. And so this is going to happen on 22nd, a full day event. There'll be crypto networking.
Yes. So networking, the after party with crypto investors after the event. But the reason why we decided this time to do like an octagon for crypto startups, so it is 6 startups. So we're going to have 3 rounds as an actual UFC fight.
It's a bit like a Dragon's Den / UFC.
/UFC. So we won't see an actual fight, but what's going to happen? So the first round, every startup will pitch the idea within 3 minutes to the judges. So it's like they come and they protect themselves. The second round, we divide 6 startups into 3 different groups, 2 each, and they will have to come and fight against each other. But because everyone will receive a white paper and presentation of the project in advance the event. So they will learn about each project, about each other. So they don't know who they're going to fight against. So when they meet, they'll start asking questions like, who's your developer? I checked your profile. This guy, he doesn't have a profile on GitHub, so they will have to find the weak points in each other's project. So this is how that's why we say they're going to fight. So they're going to fight for their own idea. They have to protect against the same startup. Each of them will have to prove that they're better than the other. And this will be rated by the judges. So we'll have qualified judges, people from crypto space, crypto lawyers, those who understand what is crypto.
This is awesome.
Yeah. And third round, they pitch to the audience. It's an open mic that everyone from the audience will come and punch them with the questions.
Wow.
So nice.
That's going to be tough.
And what's the price?
Okay, so initially when we started, we thought, so usually we invest our own in our events, in pricing, in supporting startups. We started with let's start 100,000 dirham. We are in Dubai. It will help any startup to start their registration within any of the free zones. They'll start create the initial steps. Then we thought, maybe they need a little bit more, because what we see now, there are startups pitching for a higher amount. So we might increase it to 500,000 dirham.
Wow.
So
500,000 dirham, just so people know, that's about
$150,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good money. That's
it
enough.
good for a
That's great
startup?
to start something.
Is that an investment in the company or?
So basically, it is a prize. So the winner gets the prize, and then they decide what. Ideally, of course, it should go to an investment in the company, but it's not us. So we're not investing by giving them $150,000, becoming their investors. So it is a prize. It's a prize they take.
Yeah.
They invest in the company. So, but we don't oblige them to come to us and say, okay, now you gave us 150. So
that's a very attractive price.
Very attractive, because you're not really diluting it the interest too much. Also, I think for the sake of the audience, it's great. If anyone in the audience is interested in starting a crypto company, I really hope the Crypto Sheikhs podcast, people who listen to us, one day they go off, not just buy crypto, but create crypto companies. That would be the best thing ever. They could follow you and learn more about, I'm sure this is not the first competition. You're going to have a lot more competitions in the future. So following you and maybe participating more of your events down the line is a great way to expand their knowledge, grow, and maybe become startup founders of themselves.
It's always a great for traditional business investors, like those who are not into crypto, to come and see how other investors react to so to work along with them, to make their decision.
It's thinking like a VC, right? How do you do that VC kind of thing? You can't just do it behind the monitor of your computer. You actually have to go visit, see these companies, just like buying real estate. You have to go and sometimes see the site. Is it real?
And you know what? Sometimes the idea, the CTO, the developers, everything is great. And it should become a next 1,000x company, and they fail.
They still fail because the market conditions aren't right.
Maybe the market condition, the way they distributed funds, management. Management. Sometimes it's so important to
product fit. Like sometimes people think I think.
I'm getting goosebumps.
like the metaverse. The metaverse. I don't know if you guys heard of Second Life, but this was a company that started way back when in 2014, but it just wasn't right. We didn't have we didn't have the right infrastructure to bring about. We didn't have VR. We didn't have AR. We didn't have
the idea was there, but
the product fit wasn't there. But now we're seeing Decentraland. We're seeing Sand. All these. The product fit has come to become more relevant now.
So starting a company, and this better than anyone, is not easy. I think there's something like 90% of all companies, they fail. I mean, I started 5 companies and only one of them was successful. So you learn, and a lot of people, they have a lot of special knowledge about that specific. There might be great developers, but they have no idea about how to run a company.
Because that's very important that when people try to compromise or save the money, they say, okay, we have a great developers team and that's it. So they save the money on hiring a proper CTO or proper management. They fail because they don't know. They sit behind writing codes. How do they know how to distribute those funds? They're just gone. I mean, you're buying Rolex and you see the guy you just invested in the company is driving Ferraris
that's horrible. So now just to move towards wrapping this interview up, I wanted to ask you, do you have any projects right now that maybe you could talk about for the audience? Like some interesting ideas that maybe your VC have sort of looked into? Obviously stuff that isn't confidential that you're happy to talk about.
I mean, not the amounts, but let's say we recently invested in the company called Kiroba.
Okay.
There was a private pre-seed round. Kiroba, they basically are developing a undo button. Because based on the calculation, they understand how many bitcoins and other coins were lost when they were sent to a wrong address. So they are currently the undo button is already there on their platform. So they have Instagram, social media, Kiroba. The tokens are basically around 0.68 cents. I mean, it goes up and down along with the market. So we really like project.
It's a great idea because I've fat fingered something before and sent Ethereum to like some random person, and having an undo button is a brilliant innovation.
Sometimes you send it on the wrong chain. I don't know.
Yeah. When you choose the wrong chain, it's very important. I mean, when you have 3 of them now, Solana, Ethereum. So then we invested in Play to Earn project. So everyone heard Axie's
Axie Infinity.
That was a great project. So part of that, their team started CGU, is another Play to Earn company, where they also allowed us to get in.
So just for the audience's sake, so Axie Infinity, they are one of the best projects you could have invested in this year. I think their return was 122,000% in 1 year. And what they do is they allow you to buy NFTs, which are playable characters. And these NFTs battle in this game. And you earn tokens when you battle. A lot of people now run actual, like, their whole income this way. They breed Axies and they earn hundreds of thousands of dollars a year doing this. So this is an incredibly interesting new world where you're bringing gaming and earning together.
Yeah, gaming is another. I mean, we were involved in gaming, like esports and everything. A couple of our investors and within our fund are into esports. But now when gaming and the crypto world merging, where you get, basically I heard the interview from Gary Vee when he said that in one word to explain NFT is basically every time you play any character and you buy to upgrade him anything, you buy with actual funds, you buy his uniform, you buy his haircut. This is what you do. You're buying NFT. And we used to do it long time back, but now it's actually monetized. So now you can make money on that.
So so there's kids now making dollars playing video games.
So what's the name of that PTE?
CGU. CGU is another project. It's also gamified.
Just so you know, guys, everything that you've mentioned, I'm going to put it in the show notes so people can check them out if they want to explore, do a little bit of DD on these companies. Great alpha. Thank you.
As I said, safety, CGU, and the Kiroba was 3 major projects within this period where we invested hardly. There are a couple of developments coming up from Puerto Rico side, because the community there is really strong. I have my partners from there, the developers are there, and the community of crypto investors is really strong. They're starting their blockchain week, 5th of December.
Oh, nice.
So, this is, I think, a bit of where we invest. Hopefully, and obviously we do a lot of DeFi as well for our investors, in order to get that sustainable income on regular.
I actually was curious, where do you source your investors? I always wondered, like, it's wonderful what you do when you have the crypto event, and then you bring investors and you bring startups. You're in a way a matchmaker.
Exactly.
Of different interests.
The only matchmaking license which is allowed here.
You're a proper matchmaker. So how do you source these investors?
So because we were always involved within a luxury service providers. So obviously it gets you, so when you build trust with the person who trusts you with their family life, with their lifestyle, with their investment within property, when the trust is there, they open up. Then they say, listen, so you don't come and say, listen, I have a project, do you want to invest? Because I know I saw you on LinkedIn. We haven't, all times there was no LinkedIn. So basically you build the profile and trust with the person before he comes to you himself and says, listen, I saw what you do, I really I trust you. Where do I invest? Can you recommend? So we wait most of the time for the person to come to us, while giving him other services, like, as I said, real estate, second citizenship. Because
so these are like some high net worth individuals who, obtain your concierge services. And
those who use our services, they then become our investors.
Wonderful. Great model.
So concierge is the door opener. I keep on saying that the concierge wasn't always a model to sell memberships. It was always to use as a door opener within community, within people, within high-end places. When you want to get in there, they know who you are, who you work with, so they open up as well.
Wow, that's awesome. So Thank you so much, Timur, for coming along. It was great to hear your story. Starting out as a lifeguard at Wild Wadi Water Park, and how you made a journey to now being a very successful entrepreneur
with a lot of failures.
I don't think there's any successful person without failures.
Before we wrap up, the fire questions.
Yeah, so we have 5 rapid fire questions we would like to ask you before you leave. And also before we ask the questions, we just want to make sure that everyone, you come to the CryptoGon event on the 22nd. We're going to be there. You come, listen to these investors, listen to the pitches. If you want, come and have some shots with me in the bar.
Yes, the Crypto Sheikhs are going to be at this event. So we're very, very looking forward to meet all you guys if you come around.
Very honored.
All right,
let's shoot the question.
So we always ask these questions at the end, just to let the audience know.
I'm not gay.
Yeah.
Okay. Skip 4 questions. No, I'm joking, guys.
All right. First question: do you have any hidden talent beyond all this crypto stuff?
I always wanted to make money with this hidden talent, so I open people to myself. So because I'm very open. So every time, whenever I go, there is no such audience where I will feel uncomfortable. So I come, I make friends instantly. So I don't know. I think it is my hidden talent. So I open up people to myself. So
wow.
I don't use it.
Do you do that by maybe sharing a little bit about you first?
Yeah, always. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Which then causes them to want to share something about
people
them.
Say that, Timur, you're too open. You can't just share everything about yourself. I say that, everyone had their failures and fucked ups. So when I come and I start to, I
really like that about you. You're very humble. You're happy to talk about your fuck ups and you don't just go straight in with the success. Because
exactly.
You're right. Nobody's necessarily drawn to the success stories. They want to know what struggle you went through to get there.
Yeah, being there, it's cool. Everyone wants to be successful, but it is a long way. So everyone wants to know how you got there. So fucked ups.
I remember that's how we met the first time. At an investment meeting, we're sitting there around the table. You were cracking jokes.
Yeah. This is another hidden talent. That's okay. Another question.
So if you were not doing events in crypto, what would you be doing?
Oh, I would be.
Answer.
I always wanted to teach, so
really.
So I might be educating people, being on the stage, not another coach. When the pandemic was there, I was sitting there. I tried everything. TikTok, Snapchat, I was like, and then even my wife told me, it's like, nah, don't be another coach. Everyone tired of suddenly you did something, then you become an influencer, then you coach, and then you teach. So, no, but I wanted to teach through my failures. And so if I was not doing events or anything I do currently, I would be maybe educating, traveling, and sharing just my experience.
Very cool.
Beautiful.
No, we are very passionate about education as well. We see that as the clear gateway to get people to better adopt crypto.
Exactly.
So education is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I will be educating.
Now, final question. What's your favorite restaurant in Dubai?
Okay.
Don't say McDonald's.
Or also don't just say Zuma, because everybody says Zuma.
No. It's not. Well, my favorite one is Zenhis. Okay, I see. You haven't heard about it.
I haven't heard this.
Okay, so Zenhis is the Chinese restaurant located at Medina Jumeirah.
Cool.
At Mina Salam Hotel. But the reason, because I worked at Jumeirah. So I saw the story of Zenhis. So when they opened, they were bankrupt. They were about to close. And then they finally made the decision to hire only Chinese. So it was run by, as usually you get all the nationalities as waiters, as chefs, but they hired only Chinese as chefs, as the manager, as the waiters. And then it's just boom, everyone goes there. So,
nice.
So it's the Chinese restaurant to go to.
Chinese. So I like.
We definitely have to check it out. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, Timur, honestly, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. I think you dropped a lot of really valuable alpha. I'm really thank you for being here with us. I'm sure the audience will appreciate it as well. Like I said, check out CryptoGon on the 22nd. And that's the wrap up of the Crypto Sheikhs Podcast.
Awesome.
Take it easy, guys.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Cool.